just delete this part. You've already, did you already get this one, this part, the first part? Okay, I will solve here again. So x sub 1 plus negative 8, this one, can you see this? Over 2 equals negative 3. Then we solve for x sub 1. We multiply both sides by 2. Then this is x sub 1 minus 8 equals negative 6. Can you see that? Alright. Then we can solve for x sub 1. Okay. So x sub 1, we just add 8 to both sides. This cancels out. So x sub 1 is just equal to positive 2. Got that? And then the other one is y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2 equals negative 1. And y sub 2 is 6. So we plug in 6 here. So y sub 1 plus 6 over 2 equals negative 1. And then we multiply both sides by 2. Okay. Then we have y sub 1 plus 6 equals negative 2. Then we subtract 6 from both sides. So y sub 1 equals negative 8. Therefore, the coordinates of point x, x and y coordinates are 2, negative 8. This should be negative 8. Alright? From the drawing, let me write the drawing, the segment here. Let me draw that again. Okay, this is point x, this is point y, this is the midpoint. Midpoint is negative 3, negative 1, y is negative 8, 6, and x here is 2, negative 8. You got that? So that's how to solve it. If you're given one of the endpoints and the midpoint. And you can always check this by getting the midpoint of x points x and y if you really get negative 3 and negative 1. Alright? Okay, shall we move on to number 7? If you don't have any questions on this, can you check first? Let me show you here. It's supposed to be like this because I didn't show you in detail. X sub 1 minus 8 equals negative 3. Okay? We multiply both sides by 2. It's supposed to be like this. This is my over 2. It's supposed to be like this. X sub 1 minus 8 over 2 times 2 equals 3, and negative 3 times 2. It's supposed to be like that. But I just put a parenthesis for the whole expression or the whole equation. But actually, you multiply 2 to both sides. So whatever you do on the right, you also do it on the left. Alright? Okay? Next problem. Number 7. We move on to number 7. Alright. If R is the midpoint of segment QS, okay, let's draw QS here. So this is number 7. And let's draw QS. So let's say this is segment QS. This is Q, this is S, and R is the midpoint. QR is equal to 8x minus 51. So this one, the distance between Q and R, this one is 8x minus 51. Or the length. And then RS is equal to 3x minus 6. So this one, the length of RS, or the distance from point R to S, is 3x minus 6. Then we find QS. So for you to solve problems like this, you have to illustrate and to understand the given problem, and also to state the given in the problem. All right. So we understood that R is the midpoint, and the distance from point Q to R is 8x minus 51, and the distance from point R to S is 3x minus 6. We need to find this one, the distance between Q, or from point Q to S. Okay, since R is the midpoint, that means QR is equal to QS, right? And then we can plug in the length, the values, and then we can solve for x. So this is just 8x minus 51 equals 3x minus 6. Then we group like terms. We subtract 3x from both sides. This cancels out. So we have 8x minus 3x is 5x. So this is 5x minus 51 equals negative 6. So this is 5x minus 51 equals negative 6. Then we add 51 to both sides. We're left with 5x equals, what is negative 6 minus negative 6 plus 51? Thirty-six or 45? Maybe 45. Not 45. Okay, and then we divide both sides by 5. So x here is equal to 9. Now we already have the values of x, the value of x, then we can plug in x here to point QR, or segment QR. So this is 8 times 9 minus 51. What is this? 8 times 9 is 72. 72 minus 51, so this is 21. And then for segment RS, 3x minus 6. So 3 times 9 minus 6, that is 27 minus 6, so this is 21. Alright. Of course, they should have the same length. Therefore, the length of QS is just 21 plus 21, so that is 42. I think you will get the same answer if you do like this. QR plus RS equals QS. I think you will get the same answer. You do like this. 8x minus 51 plus 3x minus 6 equals QS. And you have the value 8x minus, you already have the value of x. So you do like 21 plus 21 equals QS. Oh, but you need to solve for the value of x first. No problem. Okay, let's move. Do you have questions? Okay, so let's move on to number, where are we? Number 8. Except that this one, you're given the graph. Okay, let me upload the graph first. So this is the graph for number 8. Given the directed line segment PR below, find the coordinates of Q on PR, segment PR. So we don't know where Q is. So we need to find point Q such that the ratio of PQ, so PQ is to QR, is 2:1. So we're given the ratio. Okay, so it's not indicated here that Q is the midpoint of PR. So we can use the midpoint formula for this, but Q is not the midpoint. So that means we're given the ratio here, PQ is to QR 2 is to 1. That means Q divides PR in this ratio, starting from point P going towards R. So if if point Q is XY, then let's say point P is X sub 1, Y sub 1, and then R is X sub 2, Y sub 2. In the ratio, let's denote the ratio as M is to N. All right. So point Q here, which is not the midpoint, but we can use the midpoint formula. So the midpoint formula is X sub 1 plus X sub 2 over 2 Y sub 1 plus Y sub 2 over 2. But we're given the ratio. So that means we multiply the ratio here. Instead of using this one, the midpoint formula will become like this. M corresponds to the X value. So this would become, NY. So NY sub 1 and N sub 1. So N here would be N X sub 1 plus M X sub 2 over M plus N. And then N Y sub 1 plus M Y sub 2 over M plus N. Yeah, we use the ratio. That one is the ratio, 2 is to 1. So you won't be confused. I will just use like this, M and N. M here, M for X sub 1, then N for X sub 2. And this one, M Y sub 1 plus N Y sub 2. Why we use M and N? Because we're given the ratio of the distance. Yeah, it says here the ratio of PQ. Q, we don't know Q because Q is not the midpoint. Q can be somewhere here. Q can be here, right? Or can be here, or can be here. Yeah, anywhere on PR. But it says that point Q is on PR. This is line PR. Do you get that? You understand? Okay, so we're given the line PR and point Q on that line PR, but Q is not the midpoint. We are only given the ratio, that the distance from PQ to QR has a ratio of 2 is to 1. So we need to compute that one. We use by using the ratio. Okay, we get point P first and point R from the graph. What is point P here on the graph? Point P, let's count. This is -2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you count there on the paper? Is this 5? So that means point P is -1, 1, and 5, or -2 and 5. And then point R is 1. This is +1, right? This is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is 1, 7. So point P is -2. Use another color. Point P is -2, 5, right? And point R is 1, 7. I just want to make sure. Okay, we're good. So we already have points P and R and the ratio, and now we can plug in here to this formula using the midpoint formula, but with the ratio coefficients. So we plug in here. So point Q is just M. M is 2. So that is 2 times x sub 1 is -2. Am I getting this right? We'll just, so you won't be confused, we will just do this separately. So this is the x coordinate of point Q, and this is the y coordinate of point Q. So x coordinate of point Q is just m x sub 1 plus n x sub 2 over m plus n. Okay, then we do like this: m times x sub 1, so that is 2 times x sub 1 is negative 2 plus 1 times 5. No, 1 times 1, because we're dealing with x. 1 times 1 over m plus n. So that is 2 plus 1. So this is just -4 plus 1 over 3. So this is -3 over 3, -1. Or maybe I did it the other way around. So m x sub 2 x sub 1. So you won't be confused. Maybe I did it the other way around. Oh wow. The formula. Okay, can I do it again? Can we do it again? This one, because I interchanged the formula. Let me delete this, because it should be, wow. Okay, point Q should be m times x sub 2 plus n times x sub 1 over m plus n. Then the y coordinate should be m y sub 2 plus n y sub 1 over m plus n. That one. Okay. And then we plug in everything. So this one is the x coordinate of point Q, and this one is the y coordinate of point Q. So x coordinate of point Q is m x sub 2 plus n x sub 1 over m plus n. And this is just m is 2, x sub 2 is 1, so 2 times 1. Then 1n times x sub 1, which is -2. Then m plus n is 2 plus 1. Then this is 2, -2 over 3 is equal to 0 over 3, and that is 0. So that is the x coordinate of point Q. And then for the y coordinate of point Q, that is, okay, maybe I'll delete this. So for the y coordinate of point Q, this is m y sub 2 plus n y sub 1 over m plus n. So m is 2, then y sub 2, what's our y sub 2? Y sub 2 is 7. right? And then n is 1, then y sub 1 is 5 from here, from the points. Over m plus n is 2 plus 1. Then y sub q equals 14. 14 plus 5 over 3. So this is 19 over 3. Therefore, point Q has coordinates 0, 19 over 3. Try checking it on the graph. Let's plot here. What's that? 0, 19 over 3. What is 19 over 3? Point R is 1, negative 7. I mistakenly put positive 7. Alright? Yeah, it's confusing. Oh, you'd better like memorize this one, the formula, if you're given like this, if you're only given the ratio. So you use the midpoint formula and then the ratio. Now, can you please clear the board? Let's answer the other one, the other graph. And then we can continue tomorrow for the rest of the problems. All right, Megan, you have free time tomorrow, the same time. All right, so this is the graph of the second one. The map below shows a section of the highway between two exits, A and B. If a police car is parked on the side of the highway, exactly 4/5 of the distance. See, we're given the ratio. Distance from A to B. A to B is 4/5. No, 4/5 of the distance of exit A to B. Oh, okay. So the car is parked on the side of the highway that is exactly 4/5 of the distance. It can be somewhere here. Yeah, 4/5 can be somewhere here. The car can be parked somewhere here or somewhere here. Right? On the left or on the right, we don't know. So we need to solve that. So we're given here point A. What is the coordinate of point A? A, you count, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And negative 8. Then, okay, negative 4. How about point B? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 7, positive 7. 6. So make sure it's accurate. And make sure it's accurate. So negative 8, negative 4, and 7, positive 6. Okay, it says that the police car is parked 4/5 of the way from A to B. So that means we divide AB into 5 equal parts. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4/5 could be somewhere here. If we count from A, it can be here, right? If we count from B, 4/5 can be here. So either of those. So we need to calculate that. So that means the police car is from AP. Let's say the point P. Let's denote the car as point P. So from A to P, the ratio of that, and then P to B is 4:5. Yeah. Right? Is 4:5. Because that one is 4/5. Am I right? Or oh no, not 4:5, 4:1. It should be 4:1. Yeah, because we count. If the car is 4/5 here, 4/5 of AB, so the distance from point A to point P is 4 units, and the distance from point P to is 1 unit. So that is 4:1. Yeah, 4:1, not 4/5. Because it didn't say 4:5. It says 4/5. So the distance between them, no, the ratio between them is 4:1. So we can use the same formula. So if point P with coordinates x, y divides this segment AB in this ratio, let's say this is M is to N, the same thing we did in the previous problem. Then point P, we use the midpoint formula, can be M x sub 2, okay, the x coordinate of B, plus N times the x coordinate of A, point A, then M plus N. Then for y coordinate, M times the y coordinate of B plus M times the y coordinate of A, M plus N. Yeah. Wow. Okay, and then we can solve for the value of the x coordinate of P. So x coordinate of P is equal to M, okay, x sub B plus N x sub A over M plus N. So M is 4 times 7, right? Plus 1 times -8. M plus N is 4 plus 1. So this is 28 minus 8 over 5. So this is 20 over 5. So this is 4. So that is the x coordinate of point P. And the y coordinate of point P is M y sub B plus M y sub A, M plus N. Can you still see this one, the one I'm writing? So this is 4 times y sub 2 is 6 plus y sub A is 1 times -4 over 4 plus 1. So this is 24 minus 4 over 5. So this 20 over 5, this is equal to 4. Therefore, the coordinate of P is, the x and y coordinate is 4, 4. So let's take a look at the graph. Where is 4, 4 here? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should be somewhere here. See? It's exactly. So point P is here. The police car is parked somewhere there. So we computed it correctly. Now the question is, did you get it?